What's going on, everyone? So Malik Beasley ended up going to the Milwaukee Bucks, which is a bummer because I actually wanted the Lakers to bring Malik Beasley back. The Lakers actually could have paid him more than what he signed with the Milwaukee Bucks, but he made his choice. He ended up going to the Bucks, no longer a Laker. It kind of was unfortunate, right? Because he was a guy that was really exciting and was one of the big highlights of the trade for Russell Westbrook, because it's like, oh man, the Lakers finally got their sharpshooter. They finally got a guy that on any given night can go give you 8 threes a game. And he is streaky, but he can't be poorly shooting, going 2 for 10 every game. And it's kind of what ended up happening, right? He ended up going from like a 38% three-point shooter to like a 28% three-point shooter, which didn't bode well. But you look at the Lakers roster, and the Lakers made some really nice moves, and he made and added some really solid pieces. And the Lakers do still have some needs, right? But the well is really drying up, right? The Lakers really could use another big man. The hope was maybe you go get a Mason Plumlee. Mason Plumlee ended up re-signing with the Clippers for just slightly over the vet minimum because Clippers give him a little bump. But the hope was like, okay, well, maybe we could steal him. Maybe Christian Wood comes out of the woodworks and says, all right, like I'll sign a prove-it deal. That would be just beautiful news. Don't think that happens. But the Lakers could use a big man, no doubt. But beyond the big man, you kind of like, what do you need? Look for somebody with upside, something along those lines. That is probably the approach that they go. Or they just leave the roster spot open and then see what ends up happening out on the buyout market or something along those lines. That is most likely the scenario. But when you look at the Lakers roster, one of the big things that I've stressed that I think the Lakers need is a scorer. Primarily somebody that can like score down the stretch, because the Lakers, that's a big concern, right? Their issue was closing out games against Denver. And are you really going to rely on a 39-year-old LeBron James to do that? It's probably not great. Now maybe Austin Reeves is able to do that, gets more comfortable. We saw him do that like in the Memphis series and stuff like that, but maybe this year he kind of gets more comfortable in that role. That's kind of his designated role as like the closer, and he kind of is able to just do that. That could be a possibility. Maybe D'Lo, another year, he gets more comfortable. Okay, this is my home now. Like let's get to cooking, and his ability to close down the stretch. We saw him close games down the stretch. That would be nice. So there's not really any other closers out there. Lonnie Walker signed elsewhere, but the Lakers kind of do need a shooting guard. Now, I know a lot of people don't want the Lakers to have a bunch of guards, which they don't, right? The Lakers have Gabe Vincent at 6'3", 200 pounds, and then everyone else is 6'5" or bigger. And everyone else is forwards outside of like, Reeves, D'Lo, and Gabe Vincent. Now, they do have Shafino, right? That's a guy, but how much is he really going to play, right? How much is he really going to get burnt? But you look at the roster and it's like, okay, so you have the 3-guard interchangeable pieces, which is nice. Reeves is going to be the starting shooting guard. D'Lo is going to be the starting point guard. You can run sets where D'Lo is the 2-guard with his size at 6'5", his ability to shoot. He was really good off the ball for the Lakers when they went and traded for him. So you have that there. But beyond that, right, like when Reeves goes to the bench, are you going to... Because you don't want to run guys to the ground, right? Or like, let's say D'Lo's out for a game, and now it's just Gabe Vincent and Austin Reeves. Like, who fills in at that 2-guard role, right? Like, so when Reeves goes and gets a break, do you just go big and like, maybe put LeBron at the point and then have Reeves at the 2, or, you have Gabe Vincent at the 2? That could be a possibility. You have Gabe Vincent, 6'3", 200 pounds, as I mentioned, hard-nosed defender. Problem is, he's not really a great shooter in the regular season. He was much better in the playoffs for Miami, but this past year, he wasn't great during the course of the regular season. So, do you really want somebody like that playing the 2-guard when you have another... Yes, you could have him as like the point, and if he has Reeves and you have D'Lo, then like, yeah, you kind of have like the positionless thing. It's like, okay, they're all combo guards, but again, you kind of fall flat. Like, if Gabe Vincent misses a game, like, okay, well, then who do you got, right? If Reeves or whatever. It just, you kind of look at the roster and you go, like, man, like, the Lakers could use, like, Malik Beasley would have made a lot of sense, right? he could have gotten some run. If he's having a bad night, no big deal. You don't have to play him. You have Gabe Vincent, D'Lo, and Austin Reeves. It's a win-win, right? Even bringing maybe Lonnie Walker back, which he went in and signed with the Brooklyn Nets. It's like, okay, you could have brought Lonnie back. If he's got it going that night, let him cook. If he doesn't, set him down, keep short leashes, and then just let Vincent, D'Lo, and Reeves go off and let them get going. And so it does. It's like, well, what else is out there? And again, the well is really drying up for guys. So how do you supplement that? Do you maybe go like and have Taurean Prince play some two, right? At 6'7", he can play the two. He's quick-footed, shoots 38% from three. So you could do that, right? So like you could have a lineup of, so let's say your starters are D'Lo, Reeves, Rui, LeBron, and AD. Boom, there's your starters. You could go Gabe Vincent, Prince, Vando, Reddish, and Hayes. Okay, cool, right? There you go. There's your lineups. Or you could go Max Christie and then Vando and Hayes. Whatever, right? You get the point, right? So you could do that and have Prince kind of play the two. He has the ability to shoot, defend. 6'7", he'd have great size for a two guard, right? Most two guards are around 6'5", 6'6". So I think that could be a nice supplement. I think that that's something that you could do. But again, beyond that, right? Like there is also the argument for Prince playing the two guard because you have so many wings, right? So you're going to have LeBron and Rui, I think, starts because of the price tag that he's at now. I don't think they're going to pay him $17 million a year to come off the bench. So LeBron and Rui, let's say, are your starting forwards. Well, if you want to get Cam Reddish some run, if you want to get Jared Vanderbilt some run, especially with Vanderbilt's been working hard on his shot this offseason, trying to get that, especially that corner shot. So you want to get Cam Reddish some burn. You want to get, Jared Vanderbilt some burn. How else do you get Prince and those two guys like substantial minutes, right? Cam Reddish is supposed to be a little project, but you want to get him some run. So how do you get him 15 to 20 minutes a game if Prince is playing the 3 or the 4 and you have Vandal playing the 3 and the 4? It's like you have Rui and LeBron who can both play the 3 and the 4. Like, how do you carve that out? Well, if you move Prince to the 2, well, then now you have D'Lo, Gabe, Reeves, Prince, Rui, Vando, LeBron, Reddish, Anthony Davis, Hayes. Perfect, right? Perfect cycle. The other option would be one of the young guys, right? One of the rookies. Or even Max Christie, who, I mean, he's still one of the young guys, but he's not a rookie. But you could go Max, like, does Max Christie take the leap, right? Does Shafino, at least it's been one game, at least at the time of recording. Like, so Shafino has shown the ability to get to the basket and finish strong and just really, really make an impact. I think he's gonna be a problem out in transition. He's big, he's strong, he's physical, can finish in contact. His shooting is the question mark, right? But does his shot start fall, right? You still have all of summer league. You have the offseason, the preseason. You have training camp. You have all these things. Can he just get a reliable shot? Not even a great shot, but a reliable shot, right? At 6'6", you could have him play the shooting guard, kind of run different sets. Maybe have him play the point guard and, again, run Rui or Reeves at the shooting guard. There you go. And kind of like now you have different looks. You have different rotations. Maxwell Lewis, he's a 3-and-D guy that people think is NBA ready right now. And we haven't really gotten to see him a lot yet, so we'll see how that works out. But he's a guy that very likely could do that. Again, 6'7" size. He's good. He's long. He's lengthy. Could maybe plug as your shooting guard. But again, do you really want to trust him when it comes? Do you want to trust the rookies when it comes to the playoffs? Right? Now, granted, rotations and lineups and stuff really tighten up once you get to the playoffs. But it would be nice to have a guy that can just kind of be there if you need it. Like, hey, some nights you're gonna have some DM. Like, that's why I think Beasley would have been great, or Lonnie Walker. It's like, hey, some nights you're not gonna play, some nights you are gonna play, some nights you're gonna play heavy minutes, some nights you're gonna play minuscule minutes, whatever. But, you'll get the play, right? That would have been great. Because do you really want to lean on, Reeves misses substantial time, knock on wood, or D'Lo misses substantial time? Like, who fills in that gap, right? Like, better to have too much depth than not enough, especially with your 14th, 15th roster spot. It doesn't hurt. Again, I think the Lakers need a big more than anything. Go get another big. That would be nice, right? So Anthony Davis doesn't have to spend 40 minutes a game doing that. But that's also another thing, right? Like, if you want to get AD some minutes at the 4, again, Prince makes more sense. That's something else that I could have mentioned at that timestamp. But Christie, right? Is this kind of like, did the Lakers not go get another guard because they really believe in Christie, right? Because that's kind of how it feels. It kind of feels like they believe Christie's going to be the next Reeves, right? He's the guy that year 2 is going to take that step. He's going to take that leap. Not saying that he's going to play 40 minutes a game or something like that, but he's a guy that I do and can absolutely see coming in and playing, 15 minutes a game, because that's all the Lakers would really need, is somebody just coming in spots, playing here and there. And I do think Christie fits that mold perfectly, right? Supposedly he's grown an inch, so he's like 6'6", 6'7" now. He's looked really good in Summer League, right? He's looked the way you would hope, right? Like, he doesn't belong there. Like, he's better than everybody, and he's clearly an NBA player. So that's nice. Can that translate into the actual NBA, right? And he was good for Lakers. He was one of, if not their best on-ball defender, including Jared Vanderbilt. Now, Jared Vanderbilt's longer and bigger and has more switchability and intangibles, but Max Christie, like, pound for pound, might be the Lakers' best just defender. And then you have his ability to shoot. For the Lakers, he was 41% for 3. Granted, it was a very small sample size, so that's something to keep in mind as well. And to be fair, in the G League, he shot like 30% or 32% or something like that. But there's also a big difference, right? The role, the spacing, like, how hard is he playing in the G League compared to like how hard he's playing in the NBA, because, they're not trying to get him hurt. They're just trying to like get him some burn and some reps in, and so he's taking shots that he might not have taken otherwise, where with the Lakers, he's just kind of taking wide open threes rather than like heavily contested threes. Like, there's a lot that goes into it, right? So there is that argument. But if ideally you'd want him to take the next step, because then that gives you your 3-and-D shooting guard that if you need to, you can play him at the 3. He could switch. He can guard. He's got good length, good size, good defense. You just need him to be able to knock down the ball. He's showing the ability to go and create plays for himself and get to spots and knock down shots and all that stuff like that. That's all really good. It's all really valuable. That would all be great if the Lakers could kind of mold him into that guy. And that's kind of my hope. My hope is that Max Christie kind of takes that step. But again, I mean, the Lakers have options. I don't think it's a big concern, but it is a point that I've seen people bring up. It is a point that I think is worth at least a conversation. So, as always, I'll pass the question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? What do you think the answer to the Lakers is? Do you think it's Max Christie? Do you think it's Lewis, Shafino? Do you think you put Prince at the 2, like I mentioned earlier? Do you think it's not even a problem at all? You just scatter Vincent, D'Lo, and Reeves minutes accordingly? However you feel, whatever your thoughts are, love to hear it. Let me know down in the comments.